Hey guys, here today showing you how to pretty much just do a basic tune-up, or pretty much what a tune-up consists of today on today's cars. I'm working on a 2013 Dodge Avenger. This has a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. This procedure will work for the 2007 through 2014, I believe. Could be 2013 Dodge Avengers. The Chrysler 200s might be similar to this. I'm not sure what motors those use, but this particular car is a Dodge Avenger. I'm going to be replacing the spark plugs, 4 spark plugs, and the air filter. You could replace the fuel filter as well as part of a tune-up and do an oil change, but obviously an oil change, you can get that done pretty much at any fast oil change place. And the fuel filter I am not doing on this car because they do not want me to do it. So like I said, just be doing the spark plugs and the air filter. I got some Autolite Platinum plugs, and the engine's still a little warm, so I'm going to go ahead and do the air filter first. You really don't need any tools for it. You possibly might need a flathead screwdriver, but if you look right directly in front of it, there's 2 small clips that are hooked onto 2 tabs. You just stick your hand in there and pull it up off. If you're not strong enough to do that, then you can possibly get a flathead screwdriver in here to pry it off. But you just pull both of them off like that. Then all you would do is just lift this and pull it towards you, and then the air filter is right here. Pull it out and then go ahead and install the new air filter. Got the new one here. Just go ahead and slide it back into place in the box. Make sure it's seated all the way flat. Then in the very back of the air box, there are holes. This lid needs to slide down into the holes, and then you can push it back down over these clips here. So the back's already in. Now I find it a little difficult to get these back on. You kind of have to muscle it a little bit. I like to pull it forward and down. You can probably see the car is moving. But yeah, you just have to get these to go back over here. And that's pretty much all there is to that. Go ahead and discard of this air filter. Okay, now we can move on to doing the spark plugs. You will need a 5/8 spark plug socket, and a 6-inch extension, and a 3/8 ratchet, along with a T30 Torx bit. Looks something like this. That's to take off the coil packs. You'll also need a flathead screwdriver. The first thing you'll need to do is just lift this engine cover up. It just snaps into place, and just set it down to the side. Then you'll be looking at the 4 coil packs here. 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to remove those before actually getting to the spark plugs. If you look at the connectors, they have little red pieces on them. Those you need to slide them. You need to slide them backward, like this, all this way. They all should move with your finger, like I'm doing. However, if you can't, you can use a screwdriver or a flathead to help you move them backwards. But yeah, they all need to move backwards. After you do that, you can go on ahead and pinch the back of them and slide them off, just like so. And you can just pick up the harness and just set it to the side. Okay, the next thing you will need to do is to loosen up the T30 Torx that hold down all the coil packs. When you take them off, you can set them down in order if you'd like. Honestly, it doesn't matter which, this coil pack doesn't necessarily need to go right back on that one. It's fine if you mix them up, but if you want to set them in order, then you can do that. Okay, now that you've got those all removed, you simply just pull up on the coil packs and set them to the side. Just like so. And now you'll take your 5/8 socket and stick it down in here, make sure that it's seated, and then you'll go on ahead and loosen up all the spark plugs and remove them. Okay, now that you got all the old ones out, you can inspect them, see if you have any abnormal wear. They should be kind of like a brownish color on the electrode and on the resistor part. These look normal. I mean, they should be. This car only has, I believe, 75,000 miles on it. So, yeah, you go ahead and just take your new ones. You can, all these spark plug sockets, you hear me time and time again, all the spark plug sockets have rubber rubber on the inside, so when you stick the socket in, it holds it in place while you lift it up. When you go to reinstall the spark plug, sometimes that rubber grabs the spark plug just a little too good, and you end up going to pull, you tighten it up, then you go to pull it out, and this ends up happening, and then you'll have the socket stuck down in the cylinder. As I've told you in the past, go on ahead and grab some tape. Electrical tape is best, and just wrap it around both of these so that they stay together and you won't have that issue. Or you can do, in the case of my spark plug socket, I took the rubber out so it doesn't grab anything at all. That's why you probably saw me using the magnet to lift it up. So these you can just take and just slide them one by one down into the holes. Like so. Then you'll always start spark plugs by hand. So stick this down in here and then make sure you start it by hand. You make sure you get all the threads started on all of them. And then after you've got them all started by hand, you can go on ahead and tighten them up with a ratchet. Most of the time you'll feel spark plugs bottom out. You do not want to over tighten these because you can strip them, and that'll be a major pain in the behind. So yeah, just start them all by hand, and then come back and tighten them up with the ratchet. Don't tighten them with the impact that you saw me using. Okay, after you got all the spark plugs installed and torqued down, you can go ahead and reinstall the coil packs. Just slide them right back over where they were. Then you'll go on ahead and put the bolts back in that hold them down, the T30. And go on ahead and tighten them up. They don't need to be tightened extremely hard. Just enough to have them seated all the way down correctly. After you got them all tightened down, you go ahead and just reinstall the connectors. You push them in, and then once you get them seated, go ahead and slide the red tab back towards the coil. Then you can go on ahead and reinstall the engine cover. It just snaps on these little balls that you see. There's two right here in the back, and then there's two right here in the front. It just line up the tabs on that and just push it back into place. And that's it. That's all there is to it. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave them in the comment section below. If this is your first time to the channel, as always, I appreciate you stopping by. If you like the video, Please share it with your friends, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button on the way out. I will talk to you guys later.